Say hello! What's up, chat? How's it going? Thank you for the follow! What's up? Alright, I gotta fix my mask because it's being funky. Hello, my sprites. How are you? I know it's been a while. Happy Halloween month. Hello. What's up, Lochnar? Okay, so today we are going to be actually pulling some dice molds that I just finished making, so you're going to hear that hissing. I need to do a little reparation here. I need to pour another D6 for something, for another set. And so I am remaking my Scylla Dice Masters, and I'm just doing a bunch of slab molds. So the reason for that is I've actually been having some trouble with how the lids have been sitting, and it's been letting in a lot of air bubbles, but I haven't run into any issues with the slabs. So we are going back to our slab rounds, our old reliable with PVC pipe. So today is going to be showing you how dice molds are done. And once we are done pouring, we'll take a brief break. I will move my camera and everything back out to my desk. And then we will be working on polishing current sets, so then those can all go out the coming week. So I am just getting everything off of this tray. Okay, so I'm also gonna pull up Thank you for the colossal farts. Okay. This one is for some reason really tight today. You got a stick? Hell yeah. The lower part of my mask was just a little bit too tight. Like, because you want it tight, but it was like choking me, you know? Okay, let me pull up my Trello real quick. Hello? Did it die? Fuck. Alright, Trello on my phone it is. That's fine. So creative, I try to be. Alright, Trello on my phone it is. That's fine. Okay. Okay, so, and remember you guys can use !fish to fish in the chat while we're doing stuff here. So I'm just gonna start the usual way. Start clearing this out. Hello, come out, please. Hello. Okay. This is in the base of one of the dice. This is actually so shiny, I love it. Okay. This one's clean. Okay. That one is good. This one needs a little cleaning. Okay. So I'm just getting all this ish ready to go. I'm really excited about all the dice I've been making. Like, to the point where I'm considering starting to table at cons instead of just doing voiceover, like guesting in the voiceover alley, being like, okay, what if I go just make a limited amount of sets and I run a table and I can take commissions at the table. Okay, you don't need to. Yeah. But I'm like, all right, how much time do I have to do that? Yeah, it's because of the word clown. Because I used to be triggered by the word. But it also stops people from using emotes of that in my chat. You're good. I am phobic of clowns, like severely, so. Actually, it's not as severe anymore, but it used to be pretty bad. We went into Spirit Halloween yesterday, and boy, howdy, it was crazy. Okay, so this is all ready to go. So I'm gonna pull these molds. Okay, there we go. So here's our big slab mold. Here's our little guys that I was doing some reparations on. Yeah, those came out way better. Remember those molds I had that had the uneven bottoms? Well, I re-poured the bottoms so they would be even. Because I think that was also leading to some of the pour problems I was having. Can I speak in a southern accent? I absolutely can. I have multiple southern accents. This is the easiest one for me to do. But I can also do the southern belle, and that sits a little bit more around here. I do the really forward southern, where it's very kind of forward in the mouth and it's very teethy. So I have multiple kinds of southern accents. But you can honestly see right here, you can see the difference in color, but it now just sits flat, which is what I needed. I'm really good at it, thank you. Who made the model with the tiny hands? Same person. So funny story about that is that wasn't originally part of the model. My rig artist, Kiba-chan, is a fucking memer. She's a meme lord and a half. And she was messing around with my model and she's like, look what I made, teehee. I was like, okay, but can we actually keep that? Because that's kind of iconic. So we decided we were going to keep it and she fully implemented it into the model. The model artist is Miyukiko and Kiba-chan is my rig artist. My 3.0 is being made by Chiari. There we go. Oh, I left those lids outside, so I'll grab those before I pour anything. But those are all ready. So next what happens here is I knock things over, apparently. I do need a D2, so I'll leave this one out. So, you might be asking, Scylla, why is it in a big PVC pipe? That's how you make dice molds, or one of them anyways. So this one, I poured the base in the PVC mold, and then I made the lid with contact tape. There we go. Yes. Sorry if there are more fans. It is just getting warm in my... Oh, favorite Tim Horton donut? I'm a Boston cream baby. I love me a Boston cream. There we go. And I made this lid pretty thick so that it hopefully won't need anything on top of it. And I'm just cutting around the edge. Just pushing it out. Yeah, look at that thick boy. That's a thick boy. So you can see there's little keys here. So what I gotta do is I just gotta kind of pry it very loosely apart, because there's Vaseline that I put around those keys. So then they can pop out. Damn boy, he's thick! Okay, so I just need to a little slice there, slice there. Slowly peel around the sides, and if something doesn't come up, you never want to force it. You just want to take with a very careful hand, take the X-Acto knife to it, and just very carefully cut the sides. And see? Fresh dice mold. Nice thick lid, so I can feel how thick that is. That's gonna really nicely weigh it down. And then I put a little gem here so then I can always tell where the mold needs to stick in. So now when you're opening this, I just go in circles, and I just loosen the numbers, because you want to loosen you hear those pops? You want to just loosen the dice out of there very carefully, because What that does is it ensures that, or it makes it, gives you a higher chance that the numbers won't rip out of there. Which is why I like Dragon Skin 20. I know I have a friend, she prefers, where is it? I think I have an empty one in here. She prefers Mold Star because it's more pliable. But I just find that my my dragon skin molds last a bit longer. So I can start just pushing my Dice Masters out. And I'll put these into a clean cup and I will clean them after stream. Which means I usually clean them with soap and water and then wipe them down. Yeah, those are really nice in there. And usually the D20 is the last one. So this one was being a little bit finicky, so I am just... So this one wants to come out. Also, sorry I didn't thank you. Thank you, Din Din, for the raid. I hope you had a wonderful stream. And then, how long does a batch last? It depends how often you use it. Okay, these are all ready to be cleaned again, so I'm going to put these in a little cup. So I just have a little plastic cup. I'll put my Dice Masters in there and to the side, so then I will wash them after stream. And then have my paper towel. Do I not have a paper towel in here? I do. It's on the floor. Okay, I'm just going to do a really quick spray down with isopropyl alcohol. Just to wipe the top to make sure there's no excess Vaseline. I'll do the same with the lid. And isopropyl alcohol dries really fast. So I'm just making sure there's no excess Vaseline on there, because I don't want anything that can interfere with curing. Okay. Okay, and then this latches into place. And then you see, that's a thick boy. Okay, I'm gonna quickly jump out of the tent so then I can grab those extra lids that I need. Okay. No other reparations. Okay. Okay, so I opened Trello on my phone. Oh yeah, I grew up with 16. Okay, let's see. Just opening Trello on my phone. Hello, phone. I need you to. Yes, okay. Yeah, 16, the cartoon. Such a good show. I'm sure there's stuff in it that hasn't, you know, aged well. like most shows nowadays. Sayu's been watching, not 16, The Office, and there are certainly things in there that have not aged gracefully. Okay. D4. We also wanted. Okay, so the Casterus and a D4 necklace to do, and those and the recourse. Got it. Easy. So we can do Casterus in our brand new set and try that out. I'm going to do myself a favor, and I'm going to pour 2 D6s of the kind that I need, in case one of them doesn't work. Because these molds are being silly. Okay. So I'm going to start. Let's do this half. A little bit better for you. Okay. Scoot in a little bit. So, what I'm doing right now is I have put my 2-part resin, which is the resin and then the hardener, and by combining the two, you get, that's what makes the plastic harden. And then I am making plastic dice. It takes a lot of stirring, but you want to do it kind of slow, because the faster you do it, the more bubbles will be introduced. And you'll see me test it every once in a while. That is fully mixed now. Split this about half, because I need about half for those two. So, got my blue-green. Emerald. And then my turquoise. Alright, go sleep. Have good sleep. Well, everyone say goodnight to Demon Artie. Or else I'll fight you. Ooh, a barn owl. I love owls. I really want to, I want to go to like a wildlife reserve, and I want to learn how to, or not even just learn how, I want to like work with someone so then I can like fly an owl off my arm. That just sounds awesome. Is this flash carrying? No, it's not. There's some on the side. I was like, if this better not be flash carrying, I'll cry. So, y'all know how my inserts of gold go. So I put a little bit in there. I grab a Q-tip. Start getting it in there. A little bit. I love this foil. And it lasts for fucking ever, too. So you guys can see a bit more of how this works. Go. Okay, there's 1d6 prepped. Where's my other one? That's a d20. It's a d8. It's a d12. d4. You're these nuts. You're d6. You are okay. I don't know why I put that away. I needed another one. If both these d6s work, that will complete both sets that I need to finish of Aventurine, and that'll be really nice. Because for some reason, both these d6s are just being actual shitters to me. Your VTuber model is really pretty and cool. My name is hard to say, Souza. Well, welcome in. I hope you have a wonderful day. Thank you for being here. I'm really grateful for how the community's grown and how many more like artists are entering the community. It makes me very happy. Because that's my goal, is I always wanted a community of artists, you know? I think that's a cool want. Just gonna put a little bit, just to let it kind of settle. Maybe have some of the bubbles come up from there. In the meantime, move these to the side. There we go. You guys can see a little bit better. Yeah, that's working kind of nice. So. Just doing little bit by little bit, because I'm hoping that will cause less bubbles. Hello, how you doing? We are just pouring some dice today, doing some reparations, and I just pulled some brand new dice molds. So we're going to be putting those to use today for a Castorus set. And once we're done in the tent, I'll take a brief break. And then we will hop out to do some dice polishing and grind in Honkai's Star Rail as per usual, because I gotta build a Cyrene. Or I gotta pre-farm for Cyrene. And since we know she's Remembrance, that's actually a huge help, because that tells us like what materials we need. Which I love the new farming system in the game, y'all. It's so good. Why do you sand the dice? Great question. So, when I pull a dice out of the mold, it's gonna have little edges. See, like right here. So I'll show you like just kind of here, and I'll show you with raw dice when I'm out of the tent. But when you pull a dice, it's gonna have little extra bits of flashing, and this it just needs to be resanded and polished, so then you can have a perfectly flat surface. And it's just to make the best dice you can possibly have. So, what I'm doing right now is I'm just slowly building up the resin in here. And also that's giving this time for air bubbles to come to the top before I hit it with the heat gun. And yes, I am covering that old one because it's inevitably going to get covered anyway, and what this does is by adding enough resin to create surface tension, that will give it extra resin to pull into that spot that was bubbled. But I can repair this one because the number was not damaged. So, like, you know when you were doing science classes and you were taught, like, you can put a certain amount of water into a cup so that it kind of domes on the top and creates that surface tension? That is the same science you'll use with dice making. So, I'm going to grab my heat gun. I'm going to blast this and kill those bubbles that rose to the top, especially in the bubble reparation. It also makes it run a little bit smoother. It's true, everyone in the sprites is absolutely gorgeous. Okay, so this is going to get extra. So I'm adding a lot extra because I keep running into bubbles on these. So my trick has been to put it all around as well. Just create a lot of extra resin in there to give it lots to pull from. So I'm going to squish her down there. Just going to go right into the pot. I had a little base lid in there. So this is going to go into the pot on the tray, but I'm going to put another heavy mold on top of it to help the lid stay down. I'm going to do that same thing on the sky. That was extra resin because why waste? Right? Okay, where's my other D6 lid? It's right here. So this guy's going to get a little wiped down with some had some extra resin on it that I want to eliminate. I'll take a paper towel, wipe it down. Have a nice amount on top here. I'm holding that down while I put it onto the tray here. What do I have? Yeah, I can get this lid on there. Hold it down. Okay. Okay. I am making delicious dice. It's true. So those were aventurine D6s that needed to be poured for 2 sets that I have. And this is a D10 that had an extra bubble in it for a mighty set. So I am just adding some extra resin to the cap. And I'm adding extra to this one just so it has lots to pull from. It helps with air bubble issues. And then this is done, so it's going to go on the tray. And we're going to put another mold on top of it. Will this fit? Yeah, it will. And while the lids on those molds are quite thick, I don't want to run the risk of them bubbling. Okay, so I'm going to do one more dice to go into that tray, and I'm just testing out to see if, because these dice are so much bigger, if I need to change the PSI or if it's just those molds. Because if it's just those molds that I'm running into bubbling issues with, I will just make new ones. So I'm just trying out some different ideas. So this is a D2. This is a Nat 19 D2. I have made genuine dice. You guys will actually see those getting polished today. Those are going out to one of our wonderful viewers. I don't know if you're in chat. Hello, hello. So, we're gonna get, so this is a D2 for another set. So this is alcohol glitter. Okay. Cool. Gonna get these going. Okay, so I need poppy red. So these are, can you eat it? No. These are blood splatter dice. So basically how I do blood dice is I do a drop of alcohol ink and then I cover it with other resin to give it just that swirl. Oh my gosh, thank you for gifting a sub. That's so sweet. Thank you. And then I need a little bit of black. So I'm just going to use this guy. Alcohol and no, I'm going to use resin pigment just so that it doesn't, so it still cures on the top just to make sure. Now we're going to mix the black resin. So, we're gonna get a bunch of resin on the top there. Okay. Okay. Hit it with a little bit of heat. Okay. Alright, squish that shit. Okay, that's done. I'm gonna open this pot. Get this musty chew in here. Okay. Alright. That's gonna look really gorgeous. So I'm just, like I said, I'm experimenting with putting less in the pot. So I've never dealt with like really big issues with air bubbles, so I think it has something to do with how I made these molds. So if the molds are the issue, then I just remake them. So that whirring you're hearing, that is the air compressor, because we do compressed air into a 2.5 gallon pressure pot, and that rusts for 24 hours. Tim Hortons. I miss Tim Hortons. I miss the nature. And it's not that you can't get beautiful nature here in the States, but where I live, it's pretty dry. And I prefer a more West Coast climate. Dice molds, I'd say it takes about, in total, 9 hours. About an hour to prep the mold, and then 4 hours to make the bottom. I'd say like 30 minutes to prep the mold, 4 hours to cure the base of it, and then 30 minutes to prep the top, like wiggle room, and then 4 hours to cure the top. Leave that in there, because I'm gonna have to. Oh, where can I get good dice molds? There are other dice makers who make them. Dicey Encounters. Whoa, I sat up way too fast. Whoo! Dicey Encounters makes them. He's fantastic. He's actually a friend of mine. He was gonna make my dice molds, but then your Emperor didn't have money. So, you know, just that little logistical thing. But highly recommend buying his dice and his dice molds. He's incredible. So if you want to help a Emperor out, my dice commissions are permanently open. But also, we are working on the second Scylla comic. The first one is being drawn right now. I am writing the second one, in between writing other demo reels. So if you are at all interested in helping me create Scylla Aria comics, you can check out my Patreon. And don't you worry, Din Din, I'll be hitting you up. Okay, so this is for my friend Jubilee. This is a set I am specifically designing for her. She did not ask me to do this, but she can hold that. I wanted to make pretty dice for my bestie. Because sometimes when I'm doing a ton of commissions, I need to do silly stuff for myself too, to kind of keep me going. That's actually something that I learned from watching Kiari. Is Kia does a ton of other stuff for herself too. Like she draws a lot of like personal art, and I am like, you know what, maybe I should be doing that in between commissions to keep myself motivated. Din Din's an incredible artist. We love Din in this house. You should all commission her. She's amazing. Okay, so you remember those baked goods that I slaved over? Well, we're finally putting them to use. Also, Din, I think you'll appreciate these. Especially, where are they? This one's got a little bit on it. These little pastries. I can put a butterfly on that and it'll cover it. I just use my little jewelry trimmer to cut the edges on some of these. So, this one. I have so many pastries, dude. I have chocolate. We have chocolate for this guy. I'm just looking at everything we have. I have these little braided pastries. So I'm just pulling out everything, seeing what we're working with to make sure I can organize them the way I want. Because I'm also putting little butterflies in on top of all of them. So I really like these braided bread, but I also want them all to be a little different. Okay. Yeah, I think I've got all the ones that I really want. Oh wait, I've got these teeny bread. I like these little teeny bread a lot. Okay, so before I put some of these in, we're going to put the butterflies on some of them. So, UV light. These are going in dice, yes. So, I get one of my picks. So, a little bit of UV resin. And one of these guys. So, this is going to go on here. And then this little butterfly is going to sit on there. Hit it with the heat, or with the UV. I have an echo? I'm not sure how, but let me check something in a sec. Okay, take off this. Okay. How's that? I'm not sure. Okay. Checking for an echo, but I'm pretty sure it's not actually an echo. Hello. Okay. Okay, I'm gonna tell you right now, that was never an echo. That is called me being muffled because I have a respirator on. I will never gatekeep my materials, like, there's no point. Yeah, so my sillies in chat, learn what the difference is between an echo and muffled. It's not. Please check if you have multiple tabs open. Because I just checked it on an alternate stream. It is not doubled. Is it doubled for anyone else? Because everyone else in chat is saying it's fine. Thank you, chat. Thank you so much for the gift subs. That's so kind, thank you. I know the fan is quite loud, but it is quite warm in here. Those are secured. What I am going to do, though, is take a little bit of pink pigment. Not this gold. I'm going to mix a little bit of pink in here. I have a reason. It's because there's a little bit of extra I need to add a little bit of white. So what I'm doing by making I'm making a little bit of extra frosting for this one because it's got a little bit of like another color on it. So I'm making sort of a jammy color. Then I'm going to add some white too. Should I have done this first? Yeah, that's fine. But it makes this really pretty, like, frosting. So that when you see it from other angles, it still has frosting. So I don't know how that blue got on there, but I'm just going to cover it with some extra frosting because that's what you do in baking. When in doubt, frosting. I'm going to keep that. I'm going to hit it with my light. So this might end up being a shorter stream. Some family stuff just came up. So I'm gonna finish doing these and then I'm gonna dip out and go be with my family. Favorite character design in HSR? Oh, that's hard. Okay, let's see. Everyone's okay, it's just family stuff I gotta help with. We'll just stream a little bit earlier tomorrow. So, we're gonna stick a chocolate bar. Actually, what I want to do is I think I'm going to put, yeah. Put the chocolate bar down. And then on top of the chocolate bar, I'm going to put like a crescent roll, maybe? Ooh, do like a little, yeah, do a little, just enough to stick it on there. so then you guys can see it a little bit clearer. So we're doing here, and then I'm going to put this little donut here. And then on top of that, we're going to put a little butterfly. I have my Jubilee colored butterflies right here. I have been saving these ones specifically for Jubilee. Okay. I'm going to hit it with just a few seconds. That's what I'm known for with my dice, is my inclusions. Because they're so light, and these are also made of resin, that it doesn't unbalance the dice. I realized after I just cured those that I had put UV on these. So, I'll do this guy next. And then I think I'm going to put a donut here. And I want to put another one in here. Yeah, I'm gonna put a little breadstick in there, I think. Actually, no, we're gonna put the croissant. Something like... No, probably. Croissant. Not like that, fuck. Oh, is there a room for it to just sit? Not fully. This is not working. Come on. No, I don't like how that looks. I think we're just gonna slap a butterfly on that one. Okay, and D10. This guy, I want to make. I think I want to make a little. I want to make a little bread thing there. So this guy, I think, is going to get another. Actually, no, I'm going to match those to be butterfly donuts. So we're going to take this guy out of here. I'm going to match the butterfly donuts into the D10 and D100 so that those match. Yeah, get him in there. And then the pink donut will go in this one. Go. And then I want to make this guy kind of a bread basket. So we're going to put this guy. It's kind of like, you know when you had like a bunch of like Barbie foods growing up, or like your toys came with food? That's kind of what this feels like. Put a little croissant or a donut on there. I'm gonna put a couple of breadsticks in there too, I think. I think that's what we're gonna call that one. I'm gonna put a little briefly. Yeah, that'll be cute. Okay, then for the D20, we're gonna do a chocolate bar, if I can fucking pick it up. Topped with this guy. An angle will work best. It's got a little extra there, got it. Okay. And then do another bread. Bread bowl on this guy. That's what I'm calling these. No, that one's gonna be too tall, so we'll do a little. I'm gonna ice this guy real quick. Gonna put him on ice. Gonna ice him with a little bit of pink. So if you can see what I'm doing, I know it's very small. Someday I will have a multicam set up, but for now this works best. I just do a light layer on top, cure it, and then do another layer, but I might be able to get away with just doing one. Yeah, it just feels more jubilee to have it all iced pretty. Okay. Clear that off to the side, just so it doesn't interfere with the stuff in here. Right now I'm using a Rode Me wireless mic. When I'm at my desk, I use a Rode NT1A. Okay, so That's a little bit lower. This one is one of the most popular mics to use for wireless mics, especially like in the YouTube space. How much? A couple hundred, I think this one was. Yeah, that'll do it. Let's steal the butterfly off this, can I? Yeah. Okay. So, I'm gonna a little bit on here. Welcome in. Thank you for the follow. Almost done. Okay. Let's see. So we're going to put this guy in here. I think that's all we're going to do, and then we'll put a little butterfly at the top there. Yeah. That will do nicely. I think that's going to look like Dookie, actually. We're swapping plans. Breadstick City it is. There we go. Whoop! It flew! Thank you for the biddies. How do I decide what inclusions I want? It's really based on the what the buyer wants, but also what the theme of the dice is. Like for this one, they're based on my best friend who is a baker, but her VTuber, she's Jubilee the Baking Fairy here on Twitch. And her theming is pink and yellow. So I wanted to make a set that had really pretty baked good inclusions, but also something that just felt like her, you know? And these feel like my girl. I was literally over at her place today. This is pretty. I actually might be able to get away with using this. But then again, if I use that, we run the risk of not being able to make the cast dice. So I'm going to make a fresh set and put that in a mixed set, I think. Oh, Trian would absolutely be a little prankster. I don't think that's even a question. Our girl? Yeah, no, she's a little prankster. She's the one who likes to play the which one are we? Which is when she has her sisters guess which of them is which. Juby! Hi, Jujubes. We're working on your dice right now. Hi! I might have just poured too much resin, but that's okay. We have to pour 2 sets. Oh, you know, the baking set I keep talking to you about. I'll show you. It's very pretty. Those are cured. Look at those. Look how pretty they are. They're just like you. I love them. Right? They all have different, like, baked goods. The baked goods are iced. Yeah, BB, get loved. Yeah, this is almost a 2-hour stream for a crafting stream. I think that's more than enough. Mwah, welcome in. Nah, Jubes, you can shamelessly plug yourself. Who do you voice? Tell the people they want to know. They need to know. Yes. Jubilee voices Lilac in MMO Junkie. She's not for voicing a lot of cat girls. She's in Dr. Stone. Jubilee is in My Roommate is a Cat. She recently has been working on an original cartoon as well. She's pretty amazing. I'm just saying. Y'all should go follow Jubilee Baking. Yeah, she's in Dr. Stone. She's done a lot of stuff. Jubes has been around. Yeah, Jubilee's pretty fucking cool. So, because there are a lot of inclusions in here, I'm gonna do a really light layer of resin on all of them first, so we don't get any significant bubbling. So then I can do a layer and then hit it with some heat so that it gets into all the nooks and crannies. I'm of the opinion that Jubilee should be in everything. I know that's bestie bias, but can you blame me? Jubilee has probably the naturally sweetest voice ever. And I'm convinced she needs to be all the anime leads, but that's me. So we're gonna hit it with the heat gun. I will never stop! Yes! Jubilee is hero in Goblin Slayer. And I love that the most because we get to be in the show together. Yes, we need to be co-leads, we need to voice lesbians. And if you guys are familiar with my lore video, Jubilee voices Titania. the queen of the fairies. Yeah! Chad, if you don't know, I voice Priestess in Goblin Slayer. So I'm one of the lead characters in that show, and I also narrate all of the audiobooks. Yep, she's Ochako's mom in My Hero Academia. Jibs, you know how this goes. You come in and I'm gonna gush about you. It's my stream. Bradbury, I will never stop rizzing up your wife, okay? Listen, we both know. We both know that she needs to acknowledge how wonderful she is, so I'm gonna rizz her up. Also, hi, Bradbury. How you doing? Bradbury, if I could make you dice, what would you want in it? I'm thinking I want to make, like, little horns based off your jackalope boy and put, like, little horns in here. And do, like, a swirl of magic in the bottom. Right? That would be, like, peak Bradbury dice. Ooh, antlered skulls? Dude, say less. Tiny deer skulls are actually really easy to get online. I was able to get tiny cat skulls for my friend Molly. She also does all of my tattoos, so I want to make her a special gift. So I'm going to let these sit, because there's a lot of air bubbles stuck in there, so I'm going to let those come up to the top with the heat. So in the meantime, while those come to the top, I'm going to start on the Castorus set with the new dice mold. Move these here. I'm going to move the cast dice here. So this is our brand new dice mold that we just finished today. So how the cast dice work is I put a little bit of resin in the bottom to create little windows. And then, much like the Jubilee dice, we put some butterflies in there. Okay, so goddamn right I do, baby. Listen, I got my baking fairy and my necromancer. I gotta treat y'all right. Oh gosh. I have music in my ear. Give me one sec. Let me finish with this and then I will mute my music because I have music on for myself. Because Twitch hates me. And even though I separate my audio, it's like, no, perish. Just because this song's been stuck in my head, it's a fan song of the Mighty Nine. Come see the circus man, you'll want to take a look. Hi, Nightmare. Come see the circus man, he's got you on his hook. He's got baubles, he's got trinkets, he's got cards hid up his sleeve. Once you step into his circus, dear, you'll never want to leave, 'cause he eats life. He eats life. Knows the taste of pain and pleasure, knows the bite of love and strife. He'll drink up all your stories and he'll pour some of his own. You decide if you believe him, but you'll never drink alone. Come see the empty man with dirt caked on his tongue. Come see the empty man, he's only 2 years young. He's got blood that flows with magic, he's got eyes carved in his skin. We are soon to see his ending, but we don't know where he begins, 'cause he eats life. He eats life. Pain and pleasure pushed aside, the void and boredom's like a knife. By chance he finds a family, so he loves them as his own. And no matter what the circumstance, they'll never drink alone. Come see the circus man before he breathes his last. He knows his angel's missing, knows the danger hasn't passed. He takes a risk to save her, it's all borrowed time, he knows. Now he stares into the face of death with eyes that never close. There you go. I also gave you the whole song for once. I hope you enjoy. I love singing. Jubes. Oh, where'd my... Oh, there's my headphone. It fell. Oh, no. Wah! Jubilee, your husband is in the chat. Bradbury, spray Jubilee with a spray bottle. Her thirst knows no bounds. I know. We're very aware. Okay. Okay. It's done. Wah! There's boo fleas everywhere. No! No, the boo fleas! The boo fleas! Oh no! Scooby-Dooby Scoob, Scooby-Doo. I love covering anything with Sayu. I don't think Mama would cover anything with me. I don't know. She's a busy lady. I don't know where the lid is for that. I will find that after. Put a little bit more on top just to help with that drop. Have a good rest of your night, my love. I'll see you later. I'll text you pictures of the dice when they are done tomorrow. Now this is going to get mixed with lavender. I will drink water when I'm out of my tent. So, I know you guys didn't see it, but I put resin pigment, pigment paste rather, into this other, into the clear resin that we had. Oh, there's the lid. Okay. And then now, for the Castorus dice, they just get a topper of purple. And I'm pretty loose with how I put it in there because I want the purple to get weighed down. A nice thick layer. Okay. Okay. Okay, those are done. So it's going to get moved there. Slide this over. Slide this guy here. Hit it with the heat gun. Okay. Where's the fucking... It's by the D10, so it should be here. I just gotta find something. There it is. Haha. Making sure I'm putting the lid on the right way. That's why we have the keys. That's why we have the little topper. I think these are beautiful. Alright, let's check the syrupiness. Yeah, that is way too thick to work. Let's see how cured that is already. So, alright, Jubilee dice. I'm gonna have to mix just a little bit more resin, just the teeniest amount, just to make sure I can put some on the top right here. Is it possible for some big resin dice with two colors? Absolutely it is. I make a lot of dice with two colors. If you take a look at my shop and you go look in the gallery, there's multiple dice that have two colors. If you use exclamation mark dice, you'll be able to see them. I can do most anything with dice. I just need enough prep time and patience on y'all's part. Oop, that's leaking. So why so much heat on that one? Well, I want to make sure it is as thin as possible. As few bubbles as I can possibly muster. And I can already see this one had a void in it before I even, because as the resin got thin, it sank into it. So I want to make sure that these are nice and full. Lots of resin to pull from. So I'm trying to eliminate as many opportunities for voids as possible. If I have to use a little extra resin than I normally would, I do not mind doing so. Because a lot of it is going to spill out the sides when you put the top on. But, okay, that's going to get pulled off. So this one, this Jubilee set is going to go in first because it has a thinner lid. So then right on top of it is going to be the really thick cast one. And that thick boy is going to go right in there. And I'm going to pull these off, what die is the pointy one? That is my D4. So I'm going to grab some new gloves. I don't mind going through these ones quickly because they are too big for me. Someone mentioned Yu-Gi-Oh! I'm like, I'm into Yu-Gi-Oh! I voice Yuna Goha in the English dub. If you're watching Yu-Gi-Oh! Go Rush, that is. Go rush to your TV and go watch it. It's pretty good. I'm pretty proud of it. No, it's just a different shape. Okay, we are gonna put these in the pot and then I'm gonna step out of the tent and we're gonna raid someone. Alright. The rogue killed the boss. Let's go! I hope you had a wonderful game. Alright, my beautiful sprites. I am gonna throw a BRB. Chat, we are gonna raid someone. So, hold on.